And welcome to this special edition of the Morning Roar. Today we are thrilled to have as our special guest Congresswoman Donna Edwards. Congresswoman Edwards represents the 4th District of Maryland, which includes parts of Prince George's and Anne Arundel counties. Good morning, Congresswoman, and thank you for coming on the Morning Roar.
Good morning, great to be here.
So on behalf of my classmates, we would like to thank you for the opportunity to participate in the 2015 Veteran History Project and for the Congressional Certificates of Recognition. So originally, why did you decide to run for Congress?
Oh, wow. So I had been very active in my community. I live over in the Oxon Hill, Fort Washington area, and raising my son, who's now 27. He was a little boy at the time. And I saw some things that I thought could have been done differently and better in the Congress in terms of representing our congressional district. And so that's why I decided to run. And it was, quite a challenge because I'd never held elective office before.
Wow. So you're an expert campaigner, beating Peter James with 85% of the vote. Do you have any advice for aspiring politicians watching right now?
Well, I think it's always important to be very values-centered, and my values really drive the work that I do in the Congress. And so for me, it's not about a campaign or an election. It's about how I represent the people of the 4th Congressional District. And, I've lived a life, and so I use my life experiences sometimes to focus the work that I do in the Congress, whether it's around housing foreclosures or education or child care or feeding people who are hungry and creating opportunities and jobs. And I love my job, and so I think that helps too.
In addition to your campaigning expertise, you are aware of the law, and you earned your law degree from the University of New Hampshire School of Law. Do you have any advice for aspiring lawyers watching as well?
Well, I think the lawyering and learning the law was great preparation for a range of the jobs that I've done. I worked in the nonprofit sector doing public policy work for some time. I started a group called the National Network to End Domestic Violence. And in doing that, I used my skills as a lawyer and a young lawyer to help rewrite the law around domestic violence. And now I'm in Congress, and knowing the law really helps a lot.
7 years ago, you were the first African-American woman to represent Maryland in Congress. Do you believe the climate in Congress for African-Americans has changed since then?
Well, I think we still have a lot of work to do. And even though I'm the first African-American woman to be from Maryland in the Congress, you would think that wouldn't be true. This is a state that's the home to Harriet Tubman. But I was, and it surprised me. And I think if you look at the United States Senate has 100 senators. There are 20 women. There's only one woman of color, and an African-American woman hasn't served in the United States Senate since Carol Moseley Braun 23 years ago.
And you are also very active in matters of education in Maryland, are a driving force behind new advancements in policy in Prince George's County. Our senior class received letters from you at our senior inauguration, and noting your involvement in STEM and your annual college fair, we'd like to know why you support education so vehemently.
Well, I think education is just the pathway to opportunity, and for our young people across our county and congressional district and all across the country, if you get an education, it becomes a pathway to your future. And I think if your generation wants to conquer the 21st century, the way to do that is to get an education. First finishing high school, going on to college or community college, getting technical training, really preparing yourself for the skills to participate in the 21st century economy, and you can't do that without an education.
Thank you so much for appearing on today's special edition of the Morning Roar. We appreciate your insight and advice. Have a great weekend, everyone, and remember to be great by choice.